In the quaint coastal town of Antonio Bay, where the salty breeze whispered secrets to the ancient cliffs, there existed a legend. A legend that clung to the fog like a spectral shroud, the tale of the eyes in the fog. On the eve of the town's centennial, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the fog rolled in. Not an ordinary fog, mind you. This fog bore a malevolence, a hunger for forgotten sins. It crept through keyholes, slithered under doors, and wrapped itself around the hearts of the unsuspecting townsfolk. Stevie Wayne, the local radio DJ, watched from her lighthouse perch. Her voice echoed through the mist, warning ships away from treacherous rocks. But this fog was no ordinary weather phenomenon. It carried memories of a shipwreck a century ago, when greed and betrayal sank the Elizabeth Dane. As the fog thickened, so did the terror. Shadows danced along the deserted streets, and the air grew colder. Alice, a curious young researcher, delved into the town's archives. She discovered faded photographs of ghostly figuresmen with hollow eyes, their faces obscured by the fog. Their gaze seemed to pierce the veil between worlds. Alice's obsession led her to the graveyard, hidden deep within the mist. Here, tombstones leaned like old men, whispering forgotten names. She felt their eyes upon her eyes in the fog. They spoke of lost love, broken promises, and the sins that bound them to this earthly realm. One moonless night, Alice ventured farther. She followed the spectral glow, guided by unseen hands. The fog thickened until it enveloped her, swallowing her fear. And there, amidst the tombstones, she met them to ghosts of the Elizabeth Dane. Their eyes were hollow, yet filled with longing. They told her their story as the captain who betrayed his crew, the lover who drowned in icy waters, the child lost in the storm. Alice listened, her heart heavy with their sorrow. The legend of the eyes in the fog had awakened, casting its ghostly veil over Antonio Bay once more. And as the town slept, unaware of the darkness stirring in the mist, Alice knew that she was bound to the spirits of the past, a witness to their eternal torment, a keeper of their haunted secrets. As the centennial approached, the fog intensified, shrouding Antonio Bay in an eerie cloak of uncertainty. The townsfolk barricaded themselves indoors, seeking refuge from the spectral presence that lingered in the mist. But for Alice, turning away was not an option. She couldn't ignore the beckoning call of redemption for herself and for the ghosts who wept in the swirling fog. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a deep-seated desire to right the wrongs of the past, Alice delved deeper into the town's history, searching for clues that would unravel the mystery of the eyes in the fog. Amidst dusty tomes and faded manuscripts, she stumbled upon an ancient ritual, way to appease the vengeful spirits that haunted Antonio Bay. At midnight, when the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest, Alice stood resolute on the cliffs overlooking the churning sea, a lantern clutched tightly in her trembling hand. The fog coiled around her, whispering secrets of forgotten sins and untold regrets. With a voice filled with both fear and determination, she began to recite the long, forgotten incantation passed down through generations. Ice in the fog, release your grip. Let forgiveness flow like the tide. May the shipwrecked souls find peace, and may our sins be washed away. Her words hung heavy in the air, mingling with the ethereal whispers of the fog. And then, as if in response to her plea, the mist parted, revealing the ghostly silhouette of the Elizabeth Dane vessel that had met its tragic end a century ago. Its time-worn crew, once trapped in a perpetual state of torment, stepped onto the shore, their eyes no longer hollow and filled with anguish. In that moment of transcendent beauty and grace, forgiveness prevailed. The souls of the shipwrecked found solace in Alice's words, their spectral forms shimmering with new-found peace. The weight of centuries-old grievances lifted from their shoulders, replaced by a sense of liberation that transcended the bounds of mortal existence. Stevie Wayne's voice echoed across the airwaves, a beacon of hope cutting through the lingering fog of despair. Her words carried the promise of a new dawn, a fresh beginning for the embattled town of Antonio Bay. And as the last wisps of fog dissipated into the night, they left behind clarity and renewal, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of the human spirit. In the aftermath of the supernatural upheaval that had gripped the town, Antonio Bay emerged forever changed. No longer haunted by the spectre of its past, it stood as a testament to the enduring power of redemption and the boundless capacity for forgiveness. Though the legend of the eyes in the fog would forever be etched into the annals of history, it was no longer a harbinger of fear and despair. Instead, it served as a reminder of the importance of letting go of bitterness and embracing the healing power of forgiveness. And so, dear reader, remember this. Forgiveness is the beacon that pierces life's fog, guiding us toward the shores of redemption and renewal. It frees both the wronged and the wrongdoer, allowing souls to sail toward a brighter tomorrow unburdened by the weight of past transgressions. Let go of bitterness, for in forgiveness lies our salvation. And may your path always be clear, even when the fog of uncertainty threatens to obscure the way forward.